have a dream that one day
DLS is go for main engine start.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And booster ignition and liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery, taking the space station to full power for full science.
This is Mission Control Houston.
Discovery roll program.
Roger roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. It is now in a heads-down position on track for its flight to the International Space Station. Discovery flying 365 miles per hour, 1.5 miles in altitude, 7 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center. Discovery's engines are throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure on the vehicle.
Example 6 here deals with word sums. It says the sum of the first 4 terms of an AP is 130. The third term is 1 less than twice the 8th term. Determine the 14th term of the sequence. We're going to start by writing the information given as equations. So the first bit of information says the sum of the first 4 terms of an AP is 130. So we can write that S sub 4 is 130. Now we can use a sum formula and write the left-hand side in terms of A and D. So the sum formula, of course, is S sub n equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. So applying this formula to the left-hand side here, n over 2 is 4 over 2, then into 2a, plus n minus 1 is 4 minus 1, so 3d equals 130. Now 4 divided by 2, of course, is 2. And we can divide the 2 into the right-hand side. So we're left with 2a plus 3d equals 65. This we can call equation 1. Let's convert the second bit of information into an equation. The third term is 1 less than twice the 8th term. So the third term is 2 times the 8th term, or twice the 8th term, minus 1. So T3 is twice T8 less 1. Now we can use the equation T sub n equals A plus n minus 1 times d, and rewrite this equation in terms of A and D as well. So the left-hand side is A plus 3 minus 1d, so A plus 2d. Then T8 is A plus 7d. We can simplify, multiplying the 2 into the brackets. We can bring the 2a and the 14d to the left-hand side. So a minus 2a is minus a, and 2d minus 14d is minus 12d. We can also get rid of all the negatives here by multiplying through by negative 1. So a plus 12d equals 1. And we can make A the subject in this equation. So A will equal 1 minus 12D. This we can call equation number 2. Now we're going to solve simultaneously equation 1 and equation 2. So then we can substitute equation 2 into equation 1. We're going to substitute 1 into, or rather 2 into 1. Equation 1, of course, was 2a plus 3d is 65. So 2a plus 3d is 65. And in simplifying, adding like terms, minus 24d plus 3d is minus 21d, and 65 minus 2 is 63. And in solving for d, it will be 63 divided by negative 21, which is negative 3. Now that we have d, we can find a by plugging d equal to negative 3 into equation 2. So we can say substitute d equal to negative 3 into, as we said, into equation 2. And of course, equation 2 is 1 minus 12d. So a then equals 1 minus 12 times negative 3, which is 1 plus 36, which is 37. So we have the values of a and d. Now remember that we needed to find the value of the 14th term. So once again we can use t sub n. In this case it's going to be t sub 14 is a, which is 37, plus n minus 1 is 14 minus 1, so 13 times d. And this equals 37 minus 39, which is negative 2. Let's look at your answers to this question. In the first one, it says the 6th term of an arithmetic progression is 5. So we can start by writing that as an equation. So t sub 6 is 5. And immediately we can write it in terms of a and d. So the left-hand side t sub 6, using the formula t sub n equals a plus n minus 1 times d. So t6 is a plus 6 minus 1, which is 5 times d. And we can call this equation number 1, or equation 1. Now, the second bit of information says the 7th term is 9 more than the 4th term. So t7 is t4 plus 9. The 7th term is 9 more. In other words, plus 9. 9 more than the 4th term. Once again, we can write this equation in terms of a and d. The left-hand side is a plus 6d. Then we have a plus 3d plus 9. The a's cancel on both sides. And then 6d minus 3d is 3d, so 3d is 9. And in solving for d, we see that d is equal to 3. Now we can substitute d equal to 3 into equation 1. And equation 1 says a plus 5d is 5. So therefore, a plus 5 times 3 equals 5. And in solving for a will equal negative 10. So we've got the values of a and d. Now, the question also says determine the sum of the 20 terms of this progression. So we must find s sub 20, and we're going to use s sub n is n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. And we want s sub 20. N over 2 is 20 over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 is 19 times d, which is 3. And we can find this on a calculator. And we see that s sub 20 comes to 370. The second question here says, the 8th term of an AP is twice the 3rd term, and the sum of the first 8 terms is 39. Calculate the first term and the common difference of the series. So we're going to convert the information into equations. The first bit of information says the 8th term is twice the 3rd term. So we're going to write that T8 is twice T3. And then converting this equation and writing it in terms of A and D, the left-hand side will be A plus 7D. This is twice A plus 2D. In other words, T3. We can simplify, bringing everything to one side. 2a minus a is a, and 4d minus 7d is minus 3d, and this is equal to 0. We can actually make a the subject in this equation, so a is equal to 3d, and we're going to call this equation 1. Now, the second bit of information says the sum of the first 8 terms is 39. So we can write that S8 is 39. And then using the sum formula, we can write this equation in terms of A and D as well. So n over 2 is 8 over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 is 8 minus 1, so 7d is 39. Of course, a divided by 2 is 4, and we can multiply the 4 into the square brackets. So 4 times 2a is 8a, and 4 times 7d is 28d. We can call this equation 2. Now we can substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So let's see what we get. Now equation 1 says a is equal to 3d. So we're going to replace a with 3d in equation 2. So 8 times 3d plus 28d is 39. So 24d plus 28d is 39. And 24 plus 28, of course, is 62. So then, or rather 52. So 52D is 39. And then we can solve for D easily. It's 39 over 52. And we can simplify this 13 into 39 3 times and into 52 4 times. So D is 3/4. We can now find A by plugging D back into equation 1. In equation 1 we had A is equal to 3D. So therefore A is equal to 3 times 3/4, and this is 9 over 4. And we have answered the question because we needed to find the first term A and the common difference D. We've got both A and D now. A is 9 over 4 and D is 3/4. In number 3 it says the 8th term of an AP is double the 13th term. Prove that the second term is double the 10th term. So we can start by writing down this information as an equation. So let's do that. The 8th term, so T8 or T sub 8, is double the 13th term, so twice T13. Then writing the equation in terms of A and D, we have A plus 7D is twice A plus 12D. We can simplify. And then bringing everything to one side. 2A minus A is A, and 24D minus 7D is 17D. And this equals 0. And we can make A the subject of the formula. So A equals negative 17D. We could call this equation 1. Now, we need to show that the second term is double the 10th term. The second term is double the 10th term. So we're required to prove that the second term, T2, is double the 10th term. So twice the 10th term. So let's see what the second term is in terms of A and D. T2 is A plus D. But we already have A in terms of D. So we can replace A in this equation with negative 17D. And we have T2 now entirely in terms of D. Negative 17D plus 1D. That's negative 16D. Let's see what the 10th term comes to. So T10 is A plus 9D. And once again, we can replace A in this equation with negative 17D. So negative 17D plus 9D. And of course, this is negative 8D. Now, we got that T2 was negative 16D and T10 is negative 8D. So we can now write that, therefore, T2 is negative 16D, which is twice negative 8D. And we know that negative 8D is T10. So T2 will be twice T10. And we have answered the question. In the last question here, we are told that the 15th term of an AP is 11 times the first term. And it says, if the common difference is 5, calculate the first term. So once again, we're going to convert the information given into equations. So the 15th term is 11 times the first term. So t sub 15 is 11 times t sub 1. We're going to write this equation in terms of a and d. So a plus 14d is 11 times t1. And term 1, of course, is a. So it's 11a. We can bring everything to one side. So a minus 11a is minus 10a. Then plus 14d equals 0. We can take the 14d to the other side. So negative 10a equals negative 14d. And then we can write a in terms of d. Dividing negative 10 into the right-hand side, we get 1,4. So a equals 1,4d. Now, we are also told that the common difference is 5, and we must find the first term. In other words, d is equal to 5, and we must find a. So, since d is equal to 5, we can substitute it into here, and we get a is equal to 1,4 times 5, which of course is 7.